And welcome back to the Average White Guys. My name's Alex Haynes, one of the owners of A Squared, and we are a marketing consulting firm that helps turn those likes into dollar bills. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the legend, the one who could be his own three-ring circus because he can bring that many people with a snap of the fingers. People come from afar to ask him many questions. Could be the smartest man, the wisest man on earth, but we'll never know because he'll never brag about it. That's right, the most humblest man I know. Let me introduce you to the one and the only Justin Scouten of LLW.
Good morning, everybody. This is Justin with LLW Properties and Community Real Estate Services. Thank you so much again for the warm welcome. I can talk today. We're doing good.
Yeah.
We're off to
Good. You like my change up of how I described you?
Yes.
I thought it was fun. I went with something a little bit different. So Justin, once again, we are here together. Always. Well, for all our audience knows, we never actually leave this space. We just live here. Don't tell the people who rent the space out to us. What are we talking about tonight?
So for my lack of being able to come up with anything quick, I have to go with what you said.
Okay, what we were trying to come up with a name for this thing. What is the name we came up with?
The Vending Machine of Truth.
Okay, yeah, it was an awful title. We came up with a couple other. What were the other titles we came up with? The Everyday Life of Justin Scouten, Always Be Learning and Don't Stop, Finding Your Perfect Solution. I think there was a couple other ones, right?
There was.
Yeah, we had a lot of names. What are we actually talking about tonight, though?
So we were having a tough time with this one because you asked me to. Well, I came up with a topic.
What are we talking about?
And it's deep work. It's what we were going to name it. And it's based on a book. It's a book by Cal Newport.
Okay.
And we kind of got there in a circle because I couldn't figure out exactly how to explain how I wanted to talk about this. And what you got out of me was the fact of sometimes we don't have the best solutions of trying to make our lives better.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we kind of came to the conclusion on this one of we're always searching for that easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was one of the names of it, easy fix.
Yeah.
And so what we got out of this was we all struggle, whether it's entrepreneurs, whether it's in our lives, whether it's family trying to find that quick fix. And I struggle with that continuously.
I like to just go on record. He doesn't struggle. He's lying to us mere humans.
Well, if you listen to the introductions, then you would think I'm the perfect human being. But no, yes, I do struggle with this quite a bit. One of the things, I think the other name we were coming up with was Squirrel.
Squirrel, right?
And this, if you haven't seen the movie Up, go see the movie Up. It's by Pixar, right?
You will cry.
Yes.
100%.
Oh, yes. There's no doubt.
We will bet on it.
I think you cry within the first 15 minutes.
You will probably curse our names for if you haven't seen it. If you've lived under a rock, you don't know what it is. Yeah. It's a great story. And one of our favorite characters, Doug.
Yes.
Right?
Doug is a dog.
Doug is a dog. And he gets distracted.
And it portrays squirrels. The word squirrel, excellent. Because the dog always gets distracted. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's became, not a cliche, what's the word?
Meme?
Yes. And it's just whenever you can't concentrate on something, I get it at my house all the time because I'll be working on something and we got squirrels all around. So it's actually fun to say, hey, squirrel. Anyways, side point.
So, okay, let's start at the very beginning because we were talking in the pre-game of this podcast. You were telling me on the journey of how you got here. So let's take a step back. You're talking about a book called what now?
Deep Work.
But you didn't start there. Something else got you to here. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
So let's start at the very, very beginning. How did you find out about this book? What was this journey? And what is this actually solving? So I
signed up for Masterclass.
What is that?
Masterclass is where it takes professionals, and we're talking like what I would assume are elite professionals. You can learn about almost anything you want from the masters in their profession, such as...
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm a professional. Who we got on this?
Such as authors on trying how to write a book.
Like who? Like who exactly?
Well, let me go into cooking because that's an easier one that's in my head. Okay. So if you want to learn how to be a great chef, you can. Gordon Ramsay gives classes on it.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay, so you got there's the top of the top.
Yes. There's Chris Voss, who is an excellent negotiator. He's got his own company that comes in and helps the FBI out. He'll teach you how to be a negotiator. There is Kim Kardashian is a couple of them, is one of them, for example. So these are masters in their fields. They probably make millions in what they do, and they'll come in here and they'll teach you how to do it. And so I signed up for it. And one of the things that prompted me to try and go and learn right now is the book Deep Work came up. And I started listening to that. And what I liked about it at the very beginning is he starts talking about how you can get more things done in the day without having to work a 16-hour day. And so obviously that caught my attention because who wants to work a 16-hour day? I think besides you sometimes.
I have a
Yes.
problem.
But most of us are not trying to work that much hours.
Right. No. I actually like I agree with you. I don't actually want to work 16 hours. I just want to feel accomplished.
Yes.
So I think this would probably apply to me too.
Yeah. And that's the point of it. He's just trying to say you can get done in maybe 5 hours if you really concentrate on the project at hand. Because most of us get distracted. You get phone calls, you get texts during the day, you get emails. I mean, in my business, I'm inundated with emails. And I think I said this in other podcasts as well. I get inundated with jobs to where I have to wait 3 days for anything else to cycle back around to try and finish stuff up. And that's just the first part of it. So I got things that can last me 2 weeks just to even try and wrap up to, but then present to my board. The board of directors basically takes 3 months to decide on it from there. And we're still thinking about it 6 months later. So it's very frustrating in my industry dealing with this.
That would
So
drive me nuts.
yeah.
That would.
So that's where a lot of the squirrel comes in because you're like, while I'm waiting, I have to deal with this now. Then I got with this. And now we're in California right now and we are dealing with some storms that are coming through. You get leaks that you got to deal with, those type of things. So it's all of that you're trying to manage. And when those items come in, you get distracted. But I have projects that I need to wrap up. And some of them take 2 or 3 hours to get to. So this is what interested me is because I want to be able to focus more. And what I also liked about this was what he first said in his 15 minutes of his masterclass
Mhm.
was it's a muscle almost that you have to start to learn because we are ingrained with TikTok, Instagram, everything with those are so quick feeds that we get used to the jumping from thing to thing. And so it's hard for us. And we think that, oh, I can just jump into this. I listen to Alex Hermosi, and he says every day he spends 2 to 3 hours. And first thing in the morning, nobody can come into his office. He puts the headphones on. And, maybe once you make, what, $100 million a year, you have the right to do that. Nobody will bug you. But in most people, that doesn't work that way. And so that's what caught my attention on this is I need to start working that muscle of making myself focus more and not get distracted.
Yeah, I think
Sorry, that was long-winded.
yeah,
but
no, I think it's perfect. I mean, you answered my question 100%. I think me and a bunch of our audience who might be listening might be deeply offended. I'll be honest, anyone who's at ADHD who has no control would argue that this is not a muscle. So I wouldn't actually agree with that statement. Now I have ADHD where I can hyper focus. Um, but it is I will hyper focus and that's all I do. Um, but I think it's not counting for the fact that people's brains are different. Obviously, I haven't read the book, so I'm curious.
he definitely brings that up, that it doesn't work for everybody.
So that makes me feel better.
And he also brought up the fact that, you get a lot of news stations and I guess that's the best way of
I
where
will say
they have open floor plans in their business.
I will say this. I do want to touch on something. You said the TikTok, the social media, the emails. We used to call it the microwave generation, right? It's instant gratification. Well, all that's engineered from someone who
Mhm.
works in engineering, social, and content.
To keep you going the whole time.
It's actually engineered to keep your attention, and there's something called the dopamine effect, and we've talked about this before. But I guess I'm really curious. Like, not everyone owns a business.
Mhm.
How is this going to help someone in their normal day to day life?
I think even when you are at home trying to finish up a project, when you're cleaning a house, I've read countless articles and things where people are like, hey, I'm trying to do 2 hours of work around my house. And so I have my coffee in the morning, I read my paper, and then I get going on this project. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I want to go rake the leaves instead. Oh no, I've noticed that this faucet over here is leaking. I'm going to go ahead and do that instead. And so I think we can all have those things to where you don't focus. Something can easily grab your attention, especially if you're not liking the task at hand.
This is
And-
why our laundry just sits in a pile on
Yes.
our bed and never gets folded because we know we're going to wear it and it's going to go right back in the hamper. So why?
Oh.
Why do we put it in these drawers? I don't understand.
Yeah. But I think it's one of those like making your bed in the morning. Why do you make your bed in the morning? You're just going to go ahead and get in it and mess it up again, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But there's a lot of research that goes into it that says if you make your bed in the morning, you are starting fresh, showing that you have the first thing you're doing is accomplishing something. You're giving yourself a clean space to come into your room and not see a messy bed. And so there's a lot of psychological information on that that says if you can do that, you're going to start your day off better.
Hmm.
And now if you come into your room, you're not worried about making the bed. So I think that's how my philosophy of trying to see where the squirrels come in.
No, yeah. And I think that's great. It's so funny to me because I've embraced my weakness and turned it into a strength. To say I have ADHD, my business partner would laugh. He goes, "You don't have ADHD. You have a crippling problem of ADHD. Like you have something. There's another word for it because of how bad it is." Now I've leveraged it into almost a superpower because I'm most comfortable when I'm juggling 5 or 6 things. Like I'm the most clearest when I leverage how my brain works, not fight my brain. So this book probably wouldn't be great for me because I've learned to work with this disability and work around it and leverage it versus try to focus on it. Now I do agree there are times when I will have to hyper focus, but because I have that unique ability, ADHD people can super hyper focus, where the rest of the world doesn't exist, and that 100% happens. Um, I'll forget to eat, I'll forget to do everything, like which is a different problem altogether. Um, yeah, I kind of get that, but
So it was interesting though. One of the things he's talked about in the book, I don't know his name, but he is the founder of Square. He's also a founder of another multi-million-dollar company, and he was running both these companies at the same time. And it was one of those when they interviewed this gentleman, it was about how he would always jump and he's always on to the next thing. But he said what the author of this book stated was the fact that he also had three like highly trained assistants, almost like they were the CEOs underneath him that would then focus on each of these areas.
yeah,
So it's still, if whatever he's trying to bring across is yes, you can have your personality, your disorder, the way you're stating
yeah,
it.
sure. I like to call it, you know me, I call it what it is as far as like no one wants to have ADHD. It's not like
Yeah.
something someone's like, "Oh, I wish I had that." Most of us want
Yeah.
a normal brain. I have the joke would be Abby normal. If you know what that movie reference is, you're probably laughing right now. The rest of you, don't worry about it. But I have an abnormal brain because it's different. But I've leveraged that like on purpose and makes me really good at what I do.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But I always find it interesting when these books are trying to solve a problem that I look as a solution.
What do you mean the solution?
My solution is I work with my problem, not
Oh,
try to make it so I focus on making it better. That's just me.
yeah, yeah. Well, you're right. You made this into a strong point for you, but
Yeah.
I think the research I've done on it is that I think 70% of the people out there do better when they are not multitasking.
Oh,
There's so much
100%.
more research.
Yeah.
There's so much research that backs that.
No, I agree
And
because
that's what the point of this book is we all think multitasking is the best, but you cannot concentrate.
most people can't simultaneously solve multiple problems at once.
Yes.
It's pretty difficult
Yeah.
to do.
And that's the simplicity of this book is it's trying to take you away from the multitasking, trying to teach you again that muscle on how to concentrate on one more thing. And that's just a problem that I know I have to deal with. And so I've been trying to come up with that solution. And so that's why I was excited about this book to kind of say and share with the audience, this is my struggles because we all have those different things that distract us.
And I think that's good. And the reason I came up with the title, The Vending Machine of Truth, right, is that just like we have differences in how we would approach this problem, you found a solution, you found a book, and this is very similar to something else we've talked about before, which is the one thing,
Yes.
right? And I was like, oh, this is just one thing repackaged. You're like, well, yes, but no, because it's approaching it differently.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, it's a vending machine. Your personalized truth and the flavor that makes sense for you is just a little bit different take to make it work. And that's like anybody who teaches something, they know they're going to put their spin on it. They're going to approach it from a different angle. We do the same thing with marketing. Like there's a lot of marketing companies out there. How we approach it is just our unique take on it.
Mhm.
So that's kind of why I like this idea, this vending machine of truth. You can get your flavor, your personalized thing. It's still going to be the same idea behind it. It's like it's learning how to focus and achieve more with the limited time you have.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that that's for a lot of people, a lot of our audience, there's probably somewhere in your life you stopped and went, man, I don't have enough hours in the day to do stuff. I feel like I ran around chicken with my head cut off and I didn't get anything done. That pretty much that feeling you're trying to combat?
Exactly that. And today was a great example of that. Yesterday, I was able to actually do an hour of what I was trying to focus on.
Mhm.
Today, I spent probably 15 times going, okay, I'm going to at least do 10 minutes today, and I had no 10 minutes to where I could get that focus going on. I had different phone calls coming in, emergencies with storms, everything like that going on, and I missed that today.
Mm.
And so that's where I think that's why it was top of mind for me today, is the fact that I was so frustrated that I couldn't even get in a 10 to 15 minutes of putting on headphones. You're going to laugh at me here, but I'm starting to actually listen to Asian meditation music
Hey.
while I am trying to concentrate.
I have so many questions.
Yes.
Okay, we just need to take a pause.
Okay.
What type of is it music? Is there like chanting?
No chanting. Although I hear the chanting stuff is good. I hear
Big fan of that.
classical orchestras are
Yeah.
actually really good to help you concentrate.
Mhm, mhm.
And so you want the backstory as to how I came to the Asian meditation music?
I 100% do. Um, yes, let's dive into that real quick.
So we've talked about me working out quite a bit. And so
Yeah.
I've had some injuries. So I went to have acupuncture work done.
Okay.
And while I was getting the acupuncture work done, you're about 10, 15 minutes where you're just in there with the needles in you and you just got to relax the best you can. And
Mhm, mhm.
she was playing this music. And I, even with the needles in and some of the pressure points get like I don't want to scare anybody. It's not that painful at all. But
That's wonderful usually.
yeah. But there are some points when it's actually working in a certain spot that's painful.
Mm,
It's hard to concentrate. It's hard to relax.
yes.
And a couple of times I actually started falling asleep in there where I have a tough time doing that. And so I enjoyed it. And so I was asking her, what kind of music is this? And she gave me a couple samples. And so I did some research on it. And Apple pulls it up as Asian meditation music.
Yeah.
That's how I got around to it.
Yeah. So I like to hack my own brain and like figure out how to do things,
Mhm.
work with my brokenness. I use music and white noise a lot to help me do that hyper focus technique where I'll have multiple layers of stuff. I think the worst it ever got for me was 6 things going on at once. 6. So I was editing a project and there was a TV show going and I had music going and I had uh, 2 different songs playing at the same time and something else. I don't remember the fourth, but I had like 5 things at once going and someone walked in and was like, this is just noise. I was like, no. And I actually know what's all going on. They're like, no, that's impossible. Like that shows this, that's playing this music, that's doing this, and that's just white noise because I can't focus on this other thing and I have to finish this edit real quick. So give me 5 minutes. And they looked at me
Yeah.
like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I'm broken. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, and I can barely have music on with words because I'm gonna start like humming and singing
Yeah.
the song and stuff like that because I'll get so distracted with the song that's on. So
As I've gotten older though, I 100% can appreciate that because there are times when I will choose music to help me focus and it will be something classical or just instrumental. And there'll be times when I'm doing a project and I need to disengage because it's mind numbing and I need to stimulate my brain.
Mhm.
Then I'll throw on like a, audiobook because I need my brain to be stimulated because I'm doing something really mundane and I don't have to really think about it. So I'll do like something with words or music or with audio or something like that. So I would agree with that. How you kind of approach that.
the only thing I would watch on this that I've found is sometimes the Asian meditation music. Meditating is very relaxing. If
Mhm.
you haven't done it, I try and do it as much as I can. And it can get you a little tired sometimes, especially when you're trying to concentrate. It's that one project you don't want to do, you've been avoiding it.
Mhm.
And then you throw on the music and you're kind of like, okay, it's lulling me to sleep now.
Yeah.
So you just got to watch that.
100%. And you got to figure out what works for you, what doesn't. That's just a fun little journey. But I'm curious to our audience as we wrap this up. You've talked about this book. Where can they find this book?
Audible is where I ended up getting it.
You listen to Audible. I'm sure they can buy the book too somewhere, probably Amazon. And then you also talked about this masterclass. Let's touch on this real quick before we wrap up. What is Masterclass? Is that you pay like thousands of dollars to see
No,
these
it's a
people?
subscription. You can pay for one user subscription, 2 or 6, and you can pick the classes that you want. We did just find out when we were preparing for this that there are credentials that you can kind of get through it as well. I don't know a lot about that, but you can sign up for those. Like right now, there's AI training where you can get certified for this certain things.
Sounds like it'd be really expensive though. So,
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's only maybe about $100 a year,
oh,
$10 a month is
Oh.
what.
that's really cheap.
Yeah.
So, and these are like really well known people. So, if I would say to our audience, this is not a paid ad. I wish it was.
Yeah.
But if you are interested, check it out because we always encourage people to be learning and growing, right? So, check out Masterclass. Might be something you find interesting, might be someone that helps you figure this out, or check out the book one more time. What that book called?
Deep Work by Cal Newport.
And Newport, Newport.
Yes.
Cool. So check that out. Check that out on Audible. And we'd love to know, hey, how does your brain work? Are you struggling to focus? Are you like me who embraces chaos and find it to be life itself? We'd love to know in the comment section below. Of course, give us that like, share this with a friend because we need all the love we can get because we're lonely, lonely people. And until next time, we are
The Average White Guys.